Hey, everybody. Welcome to the town hall. This is a very, very exciting one. We're doing Testnet live today, which means by the end of all this, anyone who's watching in our community is going to be able to hit and start playing games off of our network. If you don't know who I am, first of all, my name is Jeff Outlaw. I'm the CXO at YOM, Chief Experience Officer. And what YOM is we are a decentralized cloud gaming network. What that means is you can stream from our network any experience at all. It's been built inside of Unreal at about 95% lower cost than you could with traditional centralized cloud gaming networks. What this means is you can stream a high-powered game, AAA quality game, to any device. Doesn't have to have a high graphics power, graphics card. It can be in a small laptop or a tablet or even a phone from our network to that end user. So those games we're building, these AAA quality games, can now reach a much wider audience. Anybody who has any access to the internet could now play your high quality games, and that could be just play our sample, or it could be play the entire game from our network. So it's a very powerful system, and this is the day that we go live, showing the world what we've built, and that we're able to reach this kind of benchmark, this kind of goal. I'm going to bring up the rest of the team. So let me bring on Rohan, who is our CTO. Hey, Rohan, how are you?
Good. How are you? Thank you.
Rohan's going to be doing most of the talking today. He's going to walk us through what we've built, because it's really his tech team that has really, hit it on all cylinders. Andy is in London. Andy, hello. Andy's at Gamescom, and he is walking around and still trying to jump in. Oh, and we lost him. And Yort, everyone knows our CEO, Yort, is here as well. Hey, Yort. So Yort's he'll chime in every now and then, but honestly, it's kind of been a group effort. We really got to hand it to the tech team. They crushed it. And then later on in the show, we've got one of our testers, some community member who's helping us with this alpha test network. Let me first do some quick show notes, though, about our community, about what we've done outside of this alpha testnet, because I think there's a lot of alpha that's going on. The first thing is, we pair with Diamante. We announced a Diamante partnership a few months back. This partnership is really starting to ramp up. We're doing more with them. They're going to actually be a guest on the town hall coming up. They're introducing us to their partners who are building games. One of the, it's important for us to find as many game projects and bring them on board our network. And that's part of our integration, is to bring on their games and then also allow their wallet to be part of our network, or to enable the wallet to be part of our SDK. So that's the first thing that's coming up. Very exciting partnership. Diamante is a great chain, really, really fast, very secure. Some of the best technology being built. The other update was that all the traveling we're doing this month of April starts to get a little bit crazy towards the second half. Right now, Andy's in London at Gamescom in London. Again, talking about what we build, and same thing I did at GDC a couple weeks ago, explaining to all these gaming projects the benefits. It's really, again, I get halfway through the pitch and then they start pitching it back at me about why it's so powerful. So Andy's there in London. And then at the end of this month, I'm going to Games Latam. So that's down in Brazil. I'll be going to that big game conference. It's massive, from what I understand. And we'll have a couple of people. Yort and Andy will be out at Token 2049. And this, again, these conferences get to be really important. There's actually a discussion going on in one of the other Telegram groups I'm in, is how important is it to go to conferences? And I would say it's very important, right? We get to see and meet and do a lot more connections when they're face to face. And talking to one guy says, well, bring over this guy too, and he gets part of the conversation who you wouldn't have met otherwise. So anyways, there's a lot of that that's going on this month. Andy, you back? Let's get a quick update from you. Andy, can you hear me? We may bail on Andy in a second. All right, let me go into the third big update. That is that the allow list is open. So the allow list, we're getting ready to sell node licenses, delegated node licenses out to the community. Now we have these at a special discount that we're not going to repeat it. We're selling them at about half off, so $99. It's a special deal, but it's only going to be for a short time. We don't want to sell too many at this price for a couple of reasons. But again, we're trying to keep the amount of nodes available and the amount of games in balance with each other. I got my hands in here. In balance with each other. We have too many games going, but not enough nodes. That means that the people, too many games is not enough. There's not enough yield for the node operators. Is that right? I got that backwards? No, that's right. And then if there's too many nodes, no, I did it wrong, right? Too many nodes, not enough games, is not enough yield for the node operators. Too many games, not enough nodes means people are trying to get to the games, but they can't. They're stuck in a long queue, And that's kind of what GeForce Now is hitting on a Saturday night. They can't scale. So we're going to try to keep those two things in balance, which is another reason why there's a very limited time to get these nodes at this price. You want to jump in and add any flavor to that?
No, I think that's indeed the core differentiator if you compare to other DePINs, in that we're directly from the start building equilibriums and optimizing for that. So that means directly onboarding demand, buying pressure, keeping effectively the nodes super limited, super scarce, to ensure that the node owners would be highly successful also with the nodes operating on the ecosystem. While at the same time also not introducing artificial inflated tokens circulating throughout the ecosystem, right? So that ensures for a very long-term healthy token ecosystem, both on the node as well as on the YOM native token side. Yeah.
Yep, and this is your chance to be part of that beginning of the backbone of the 3D internet by owning one of our nodes. All right, but for today, the big thing that is the testnet is gone live, and we want to talk about what this means for us, how we got here, and what's the next step after we've gone live with this small version of the testnet. I've got plenty of visual aids thanks to Ron's help to get visual aids for this. But first, we're gonna reintroduce or welcome back and let Ron do much of the talking. Ron. So first of all, you took on the CTO role, I guess mid last fall. And I know how many hours you've been putting in and how much you've been working with the team. I mean, it's been crazy that I get you reaching out to me I look at my watch and I go, wait a minute, if it's this time here, that means it's like 2 a.m. So first of all, do you regret taking the role, or are you still happy we got you up in that role?
No, really, really excited, really happy with it. And then the place that we are right now, like in a way, really proud moment for all of us in that sense. So yeah, I'm definitely thankful to you guys as well for giving me the opportunity.
Yeah, no, you crushed it. So, all right, let's talk about where we are right now. A quick overview. How many nodes do we have running, and where are they in the world? Actually, I can bring up the site too if you want me to.
Yeah, sure. Like so initially we had a lot of responses right through our website. Like I think we had like around 750 people who kind of said okay they want to be on board into the allow list, and then like it was like in a way a challenge for us to decide okay where do we start from, right? So then we thought okay let's try to in a way take one step at a time, and then try to cover all around the world in that sense, right? What's the best way to go forward, and then also cover the place in and around Netherlands as well, so that we can test it, you know, with different games, and then test latency and all. So then yeah, through that whole list of kind of 750, and then you guys like we had a long call in that sense, and then we figured around 15 people out of them. And then we also decided, okay, we'll do like the waves of this testnet, right? Releasing it in chunks, and then building it, and then testing it, optimizing it. So yeah, I mean, the screen that you're showing is our stats.yom.net. That's where people would like to they would see what all is happening at on our network. So yeah, so like we have like, sorry, please go ahead. Yeah.
Now, this is live data that you're going to see actually me over here in red, and that is because I wanted to make sure that I had a good connection when I did this video. I don't want to bog us down. So. But yeah, so again, what we have been telling people in the conferences I've been going to is we're live in Europe. We get a lot of the coverage in Europe already. Moving into North America, and we've got a fair amount of coverage in North America. This will probably be part of our expansion next. And then South America, we're still trying to get that node out to that guy. He's down in Uruguay. And I think he told me last it's in Australia. For some reason, shipping from me to Uruguay has to go by way of New Zealand. It went by way of New Zealand. Yeah, crazy.
Really?
I don't know if did you hear that story? I don't know if you heard that story.
No, I didn't hear that story. So yeah, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, he's been tracking his package. It's like, oh, it's in New Zealand now, which is
okay.
All right, that's how it goes. So far, Rohan, I know a big important part of having a testnet is discovering new things or like learnings, obviously. So what are your big initial takeaways with this small testnet?
Yeah, so the biggest challenge at this moment, or the thing that we faced, was with trying to define or see what is the network topology and at the node operators end, right? So Many of them have a modem and then the router, and then we need to do a lot of port forwarding stuff. We need to open a lot of ports. So identifying their network and then building a system in a way, still not robust yet, but we do have a lot of clarity around what we want to do as part of improving our whole onboarding process. But yeah, as part of doing this, we have built a lot of products as well on the sides in that sense. So like we built our node inspector app as well. So when we were building it, like we saw, okay, some of them don't have these functionalities, some of them do not have public IP, some of them have a shared public IP. So that we saw, okay, now how do we identify that? So then we kind of quickly built an app and then shared with our alpha testers. They downloaded it, and then we grabbed a lot of data as much as possible in that sense. Okay, the type of GPU that they are using, and then see the drivers that we are going to install, are those compatible or not. So yeah, so a lot of efforts have been put in. So like just releasing the test net, in a way, it's not the end goal, but yeah, we've gone through step 0, 1, 2, 3, and then in that sense we are here. So
Yeah. So Rowan, in that sense, it's more like a continuous process, right? Rather than like a set date where okay, now testnet is live.
live,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah. Right. So
Great.
we expect
And
also. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
go no, go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
Yeah. So because you mentioned indeed we had 170 something like that, 150 subscriptions for the testnet, right? So for the node itself, it was around 3,000 that signed up organically. So this was for the test. Are we also planning to? Because I also reckon that a lot of people from the chat are also excited to also participate in running a node because they also signed up. Is that coming in the coming weeks and months, or like what's it going to be?
Rohan and I just spoke about this before you jumped on your like off camera before this we got started, because it's a question. Like we I think yes. I think it's again that was the original plan, was to build it halfway, then double it, and then double it again. I think what we're finding is managing 12 people is challenging, right? But if we get it smooth enough, we would think that yeah, obviously let's expand it out. The other part is every one of these test drives that we ship out, we have to have them shipped back again. So for some people, that packaging and sending it back again is kind of going to be a hassle. So, Ron, I answered the question for you, but maybe you want to answer.
No, no, no. As in terms of next steps is like, okay, we ship more SSDs, of course, and then there's also delegation which is lined up in the next quarter, right? So people who don't have gaming rigs but would like to onboard, we are going to open delegation, and then they can buy node licenses and then delegate it and then be part of our testnet and expand it.
Yeah. So we've got those two sides of it. So,
Yeah.
all right. So I've got some screenshots to show. Ron, you help me out with this, but so when people get their drive, and these are the ones who are self-hosting and not the delegated ones, and they plug it in, they boot their computer up, and this is what they see. They see a QR code that they scan in with their phone wallet. Now, I remember now the important piece here is these people have all registered a wallet with us, and so that wallet should be on their phone, because it makes it a whole much easier to bring your phone over to the computer that's running the node and scan it in that way.
Right.
Then go from here, right? So from there, this is what shows up on their phone, and you hit the next. You actually get to name it yourself, which of course is all kinds of places for humor there. But then registering it, and you just named yours Rohan, which you missed an opportunity there.
Yeah. Next time.
I named my home network the Doge headquarters, and that was, I'm sure, to all the joy of my neighbors.
Yeah.
Anyways, and then once it's registered, you get to this screen here, right, which shows you, because you can have multiple nodes running, and you want to be able to monitor all of these, right?
That's correct.
What should anybody know about these screens, or should I just move to the next?
Yeah. So this is again a starting point. There are a lot of learnings around this as well. So in a way, the end goal is to go headless. So where people don't even need to scan any QR codes. They just need to plug in their SSDs, and then it should be up and running. And then you just need to log in on our app, and then they should see the node up and running at that time. So and this is also one of the learnings that we have in this, like, okay, it could be, a challenge saying, okay, I don't have the wallet on my phone, but like we might not need that as well later. uh, yeah, in a way, after this, they should see all the stats of their node, what games are running,
Right.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so
So
maybe
that's
going to the flow again, right? So we're talking. You see like hosts and you see nodes. So Ron, maybe you can tell me, okay, what is the difference between the two?
oh
Is that
yeah,
the
good
same
point.
thing or?
Yeah, no, definitely it's not the same. So host is more of, self-hosted machine, where you plug in your SSDs, and then the host runs nodes. So nodes are all the licenses that you buy. So if you buy an SSD from us, you get two node licenses in it, which means you two games or two players can join uh, on your host. And then we are going to do a lot of benchmarking as well, checking how your host is running, is it capable of running more games. And then we will on our app show you, okay, you can buy more node licenses to upgrade your rewards. So then and then people can buy more node licenses and then assign it to the host, and then we can run more games on top of it. So yeah, that's why, like, that's how we differentiate between hosts, and then the nodes are actually the node licenses that you buy, and then they are associated with a game that runs on your
Yeah,
machine.
I
Yeah.
am really glad that we landed on host as a term. I think that makes a lot. It immediately makes more sense to me that the disks themselves are your computer at home is a host, and
Yeah.
it can host up to 8 nodes is where we currently think, but that could go up even higher
Right.
depending on what graphics card you have. Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
perfect. All right, and then this is the monitoring of the host. You said you have we have things like well, you're running a you got a 4070. Look at
Yeah.
you. And it's showing you it'll show you the rewards that you got this month. Obviously we're still up and running, so it's still live data, which isn't zero, but we're capturing the CPU heat, the GPU heat as well.
Yeah, 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 yeah. This is very important because we want to know what game is running, taking up what resources, right? And then this is going to help us in benchmarking, so that we know, okay, with this game, can other game run simultaneously or not? If you run, let's say, two Call of Duties in a way, like, just for an example, at the same time, it won't be possible, right? So you need to match, in a way, matchmaking the games that run on a single host. It is very important. So that's why we are collecting this data, and then we are going to analyze it, and then build a score or assign a score to the host. And then depending on the score for the game as well as score for the host, we will determine, okay, what games can be ran on a particular host. So that's why,
And
like,
then
these are very important for us to collect and analyze.
right. Yeah, because the orchestrator that we're building that's going to be monitoring all this. I know that what we're trying to do is make sure that, well, I mean, obviously we want the game experience to be good for the players. That's the ultimate goal. But at the same time, we want earnings and rewards to be distributed as fair as possible to the people who are operating nodes, and that might mean if you get a game that has a long session at one point, we'll give you games with shorter sessions so you have more sessions going through your machine, and try to balance it out so you're not always taking the one game that runs 8 hours and you've got a single session, which I
Correct.
mean that won't really happen anyways. But
Yeah.
trying to balance it out. That orchestrator is a complex piece of, and I know that the tech team has got their hands full with that one. But again, I
Yeah,
just
yeah,
want
yeah,
to say,
yeah. So again, like, we are starting small in that sense. So we started with region, and now we expanded the orchestrator to match based on the distance. That, okay, how much distance where the player is and where the node is, and then we are trying to minimize the distance, but as well as we are going to match the scores, like what is the score of that particular host, and whether it is best or not, and then decide, do matchmaking based on that as well. So
Yeah,
a lot of things.
and maybe for the little bit more technically inclined people at home who also want to run a node or a host at home, like what are the things that they have to look for, right? Obviously, it's the GPU, as you said earlier, but what are the other things that are important to maximize your rewards?
Yeah, so internet speed is very important. So having a good upload speed is definitely kind of very important, because downloading the game, in that sense, it's okay if it goes slow, but to stream it, the upload speed is very important. So far I think we are supporting like 15 mbits per second for one node, and then if you have more, then it's better. So even if your GPU, let's say, supports more games, it is, but if your upload speed does not support, then we can't host too many or run too many games on your host as well.
Yeah, and didn't that part of that one of the tools that you created was one that measures that? It helps. I mean, obviously there are speed checkers online, and
Yeah,
everything you can get, but
yeah,
it was interesting that you told me that in the U.S. it's sometimes a matter of which cities you live close to. If there's a hub in Virginia apparently, and if you
yeah,
live close by that hub, you get on the internet, you get on that internet faster,
right.
which is I thought interesting. But I can't get my wife to move, so I think we're stuck.
But
Uh,
delegation is an option for you.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Uh, I did want to touch on this real quick because not all the tech team. I mean, a lot of tech team is working on this, but we have some part of the team also working on putting games on the network. We've got a small amount ready to go, experiences for this test net, which is, um, again, if you use the software, you want to introduce as few variables as possible while you're still, testing and everything. So if we put 6 games out, it's going to be harder to do QA than if we have 2, right? So we keep
True.
it small at the beginning. But in the
Yeah.
background, we're helping some of these studios get the SDK integrated, just for manpower reasons. It's not the complexity, but just that they didn't have the bandwidth necessarily, and we've got the expertise, so we're loaning it over to them. Anything you want to say about that before we jump to the next part?
No, I mean, there's a lot of demand coming from you as well. Like, yeah, the more conferences you are attending, the more client inquiries that we have, and then
Yeah,
different type
everybody.
of games and all, right. A lot of questions around that. Okay, would this type of game would work, or this type of experience would work or not? And then yeah, we need to also also we need to define a process around that as well. Like, okay, what are the things like? Is mobile supported? Is the game supporting mobile or resolution or not? So yeah, so we are just taking one step at a time in that sense.
Yeah.
Pushing you as well.
So Ron, we did actually made quite some significant improvements to allow effectively for a one-to-one easy convert from your existing Unreal Engine game, right? With, for example, with the controls converted one-to-one using the. So is that something, Ron, you can tell about to also help game studios with existing games to basically convert their entire game in a couple of, well, let's say days, right? It can be done in hours. Let's say
Yeah.
days. What are the constraining factors and what are the opportunities for them?
Sure. So like the SDK that we have built, it's more of plug and play. You integrate in it, and then it already has those controller support, as well as we have Chromecast support as well. So controller, so like you don't need to configure or build specifically for mobile. So if you're joining the experience from mobiles, you would see all the controllers already mapped in, and then your players can start. Using that. So as a studio, you don't need to especially configure support for mobile controllers. So in that sense, it's very easy for them to integrate and expand.
All right. Let's bring up let's bring up Lee. Lee, if you're ready, let's go. So Lee is one of our alpha testers. He won the lottery and was able to come aboard. Hey Lee, how are you?
Hi guys, yeah, I was about a bit zoomed in close there. No worries.
What I've asked Lee to do is just be as honest as possible, because what I'm told is, Lee, that you will tell it like it is, which is important for us. And you've been communicating with Rohan anyways, through Discord, to the private ticket there to help coordinate. But how was the onboarding for you, and what's it been like so far?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it was pretty pain-free. I mean, the hardest thing was getting shipped out the hard drive, right? And then we had to open it up and sit on it and wait until we're given the go-ahead to kind of plug it in. But yeah, really, really straightforward to set up. Just a few key things, and I think you kind of covered that earlier, right? That number one was getting that wallet set up and having that on your phone as well as on whatever desktop you kind of set it up on. So I kind of made sure that was ready ahead of time. The other part was, and this isn't something that everybody does. If you're into kind of PCs and things anyway, changing the boot order on your desktop. So a lot of people don't know I don't even know what a boot order is. So to me, that was fairly straightforward because I've been messing with PCs and computers for a really long time now. So yeah, I just went in and set the boot order. One of the key things is obviously making sure these, the little SSDs that you guys have sourced can run. I think it's like 20 gigabytes per second or whatever it is. It's USB 3.2. So you need to make sure that you've got that plugged into a port in your computer that can support those speeds. Not all the ports are 3.2. So if you plug it into one that's a bit slower, then that's obviously going to impact things. So identify that fast port, get it plugged in, change your boot order, turn the PC on, and then it boots off that. SSD. I think it rebooted a couple of times. There's some feedback to the user. I think it boots to some kind of Linux desktop, and then you get the screen that you guys shared earlier. And yeah, that was it. I was, I used my phone, scanned it, got the app feedback on my phone, so I could see if my GPU was being thrashed, and if it was being used, and how many clients were on there. So yeah, that was interesting. The good thing here, where I'm in the UK, so I've got solar on the roof here. So in the daytime, it's generating enough power for that YOM node to be powered by sunshine. So some green kudos there. So yeah, sorry, anyway, I will waffle on for ages if you're not careful. But yeah, it was straightforward, painless. I just turn the PC on and it fires the node up. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some games running on it.
I know that you and Rowan have done plenty of conversations. I don't think you've ever met or have you? You're
Well,
lately.
I mean, it's
Not
good to
face to
finally
face. No, it's all virtual these days.
Yeah.
It's good to see basically a face to the name, because your name has been going around in a positive way, but definitely you're one of the power users out there, so that's really good. But you also had a very easy setup for us to be able to do it. Now we are indeed collecting like a lot of data at the moment. So we got indeed the jungle to work only. We had another experience. I'm not sure if we can reveal that already, but it's a pretty cool demo experience that we're also launching very soon on the website and in the Telegram app. And then you may connect to Lee's machine, you may not. It really depends on where you're based.
I'll be watching.
Yeah.
Lee, one other question for you before I let you go. Now you've been as Yurt says, a power user in our and part of our community for a long time. But what about YOM caught your interest at the beginning? What about what we're proposing as our solution for gaming has you the most excited, or why are you on board at all? Why are you a member of our community at all?
Well, we'll blame Andy for that, because he always does a really good sell. I had some. I mean, I love the technology, and I like that idea of distributing right. But I totally with Rowan. I work in IT anyway, and everything is always you're trying to balance these things right. It's like you need this much GPU, but then you've got the network, and most people have got a high-speed download, but their upload is everyone else's download. So yeah, that's going to be my limiting factor. I'm on fiber here, and my upload is a tenth of what my what my download is. But I might, if I have been looking at updating that a little bit, but that's just the nature of people's broadband services, right? Everybody is consuming rather than pushing stuff up, and that's the way that it is. But yeah, I'm really interested in that distributed computing resource and using those underutilized GPUs that are just kind of sitting around everywhere. So yeah, that was the reason that I got on board. Partially Andy giving me the sell, which not a lot of people can resist. And then, I've got the hardware here, and I'm interested from a technical standpoint as well.
Very good.
There we go.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Lee, for joining us and giving your perspective on it.
Keep it up, young guys.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, so are we ready now to let everyone in on the experience? Because this is kind of what the reason for most people tuning in.
Yeah.
I expect is they're gonna find out. So let me I'm gonna walk through. I'm gonna do it over here first, and this is live demo. So cross your fingers, everybody, because we all know how live demos can go. Put this thing up here. So you see me inside my Telegram. We've got so most people know this already, but Valley of the Ancients is a demo game that Unreal makes available to developers. It's a great way to test, is what you're building for Unreal workable. So I'm going to make my connection. Did someone else already using it? We'll give it a second. But Valley of the Ancients, it's pretty beefy. When you get it, there we go. Are you guys hearing the volume as well?
No, we're not hearing it.
I think we probably don't want to honestly share the because I will end up talking over it, and it gets kind of loud at a certain point.
Yeah.
But here we are. I'm inside of, and I think the first button I can press is the if you've seen Valley of the Ancients played before, right? Now I'm playing off of somewhere on the network, and able to. How's it look streaming wise? Are you guys seeing it pretty smooth?
Really, really smooth. Really smooth.
Nice, good.
It does say network issue on the notification, so probably not the fastest node you connected with, but.
But again, I didn't want to run my node. I didn't want my upload here. If I connected to my node here, I think our video would just get all kinds of crappy. This whole call would get kind of beat up. All right, let me return.
You already, if you could try and then also share that.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Oops, I don't want to do that again. Nope. X, come back. Let me get back to her and move her around. No, I keep on hitting the mouse button. I apologize. All right, so let me get up and walk around. There we go. I think there's movement stuff. Is it still running smooth? It is, isn't it?
Yeah. I also just booted it on Telegram, so it's now loading. There we go.
Oh, you're playing it on your phone?
Yeah, I'm playing on my phone. It's also pretty cool.
I could do that too.
As you can see, like the controls are also there. So you can interact with the game itself. So this is all streaming exactly the same game. It's responsive. On my phone, it's super fast actually. So there are no messages. Hardly any latency whatsoever. So you can go around. And
I'm really not getting latency either. Even though it's got that red symbol there. Now I'm not having to. Well, I guess later on I'll have to dodge. But playing the game. So we're gonna make this available to everybody. We're gonna drop this link in the Telegram, in our community Telegram channel. So if you haven't joined our Telegram, do so. And if you haven't yet signed up to purchase a node, do so, because again, the bottleneck for us is going to be selling as many nodes as possible to get that map covered up with nodes. It's either delegated or self-hosted. Right now, what we're selling is the delegated nodes that you can bring to a NAS. And sorry, I can't stop playing. I'm going to turn it off now.
and the discount is there as well, right? So it's $100, and the average payout that we're expecting on average network load. So we'll optimize towards that is $77 a month. So effectively, that means like in 1 month, you almost make your investment back, right? It really depends. You can actually make more in the first month than that you invested to purchase a node.
Yeah. Again, similar nodes, and this whole DePIN space is filled with a whole bunch of projects that are selling nodes for data that's not really used very much anyways, right? And we're just, the gaming space is just filled with people who want to, or filled with game developers who want to get their games to more players as possible, the most players as possible. So there's all kinds of there's a market is massive, so the returns are going to be equally, sizable. Though we can't, not financial advice, but I'm getting some.
And but there's also some flexibility associated to it, right? So you can set up indeed your own host, your own setup with the disk, so you apply to the test network. But the nodes, even if you don't have a gaming machine at home, you can decide to delegate it in a single click to the cloud. So you effectively you participate in the rent of a GPU somewhere. So you consume like 1/8 or 1/4. It really depends on the machine you're renting. Usually it's kind of abstracted away. So you just need to click on the YOM icon, you press buy, you pay a monthly fee, and then on the other hand, you will make a lot of money. And the upside should cover the downside by a large enough margin for you to participate. Now, obviously, it's up to our partners. It's up to us to ensure that is always the case. So that is like the flexibility what you can do with it, right? So right now it's a very limited collection of nodes that we're selling only to the OG people in our community that have been there from the start. Also wanted to say, okay, yeah, we have sold to the Chateau crypto community. They will also automatically receive the best possible discount applied to the nodes that they have already purchased. So that's also good for them to know. So we're currently also inquiring like an email list and a Discord name list to contact all of the people that have subscribed and paid already. So like the Chateau people, they already paid, I think in October, November, something around that. So they've been
very
waiting.
patient crew.
Very patient, very patient. So,
but they're also very they see what we see, right? They see what we're building and what this means for the gaming industry. They're a lot of them, I think, are very they're very aware of our long-term growth potential, which is why they've stayed on board and been so patient this long. So
right,
and thanks to them.
And I don't want to sound cocky, but we are the first cloud gaming DePIN that's actually operational, right? So this has never been done before, to have games running on Telegram that are actually connecting with real nodes that are operated by real people rather than by data centers or AWS or some cloud somewhere, right? So we actually took the deep dive to really build a distributed network. So just wanted to.
This is the question that gets asked oftentimes: is what makes you different from either Google Stadia or some of the other ones who are saying that they're DePINs? And I have to explain. It's not that hard to explain, really, that we are the only ones who are decentralizing the stream, the pixel stream. Everyone else is still using central servers. Is still using Amazon or something like that to do the pixel streaming, which is laggy and super expensive and only getting more expensive as AI is sucking in every GPU cycle from a central server. Our system is the only one that's actually rewarding people for streaming the games. Like that's the larger return on investment is the streaming of and it's also the harder thing to do, which again, when people say, why are the only ones doing it? I'm like, well, it's because it's very, very hard to do. That's why you have to have the patience of the Chateau group, because it's there's a lot going on there. So I think the biggest call to action is people should join up get on the allow list. They do that through Discord. Am I right?
Yes, they can do it through Discord. We have a Google form that we're spreading around, so they can also participate via Telegram. But all of the communications will be on Discord, right? So if you want to get updated, if you want to apply, let's say, to a test group and get notifications and communications around that, it will all be done via Discord, because it allows us to very easily make groups and not spam everyone, so everyone can turn off notifications if you want to, which is not possible, or it's harder to manage and control in Telegram.
So it's all the actions happening on Discord, except the streams are going to be on Telegram, because Telegram is open source and allows us to do this kind of integration. But again, as far as I know, everyone says we're the only ones who are able to stream Unreal games through Telegram, which is a massive win for. I think I talked last week. The one presentation I was in was all about Telegram gaming and how important it's going to be, or has already become. And we're the only ones doing Unreal inside of it. Okay, so find us on Discord. I think we'll make sure that in this video I'll put the Discord links in the description once I stop being live, and then also join our Telegram, our official Telegram group, because that's where the game's going to be posted.
Yeah. Do you want to post that now?
You want to post it now? We can post it now. See what happens.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
can watch it live. All
Let's
right.
do it.
Who has the ability? I think I can probably forward this to the public group.
Yeah.
All right. And everyone's, let's see, that's private. That's not right. That one. All right, community official. Here it goes. Oh, fingers crossed as it all comes crashing down. You know what? Yeah, while we're doing this, as you play the game, please be sure in the community group, especially if you're having any kind of screen that's not the game itself, tell us where you're playing from and what message you got. You can even take a screenshot if you want to and drop it in there. Say,
Yeah.
this is the screen I saw, and I'm calling, and I live in Seoul, Korea, or something like that. That'll all help us out. There we go. Our first emoticon.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is not going to be live forever. This is the other thing we should point out, because as it's a test network, we're going to be testing it for a little while, but it could come down inside of a day if it really bogs down, or maybe we'll leave it up for 3 or 4 days. But I would be surprised to see it last a week. So if you're watching this on YouTube a week after the data was posted, don't be surprised if that link to the game isn't working any longer. But shouldn't stop you from joining our Discord and our Telegram group, because you want to be a part of our group for the next time we do post the next experience. What am I forgetting, Ron?
Yeah. No, it's like it's more of a test net, as the name says, right? So we are also collecting a lot of data. We are also going to improve on this as well. So if again, like you said, if the experience is not that great, do let us know. So we are definitely looking forward to improve on that as well.
I've oftentimes said that without honest data, if you just lie to us and tell us we smell pretty, but actually we got bad BO, we'll never take a shower. So please tell us when we stink, so we know to clean our stuff up. I don't actually say that often. I certainly don't say it at dinner parties. My wife asked me to stop using that analogy, but I'll say it here online because she's not in the room. All right, we gotta leave it go. I think that's kind of, we covered everything. Just we'll look for you in the Telegram channel for your experiences and your feedback. And we do appreciate everybody who's in the test net. Super appreciated. Everybody who signed up to be in the test group and didn't get accepted in wave 1. Wave 2 is certainly on the table. And it's just a matter of managing how many drives we send out and how many we collect, and finding out how smooth the onboarding process can be. Now that we've got a group onboarded and we've made some updates, maybe it's worth sending out wave 2 just to see if all the improvements covered everything.
Yeah. I would also like to shout out to the tech team behind this. They also have worked really hard, and it's a really proud moment as well. So thanks to Derek, Kido, Yon, Patrick, are also the moderators, and then special thanks to the alpha testers as well. So they believed in us, and then they're also helping us a lot. And then during the onboarding process, I got quite a lot of feedback in that sense, like positive. Okay, that they said, okay, we are here to help you if you need anything. They shared there were some challenges in certain onboarding steps, right? That maybe the app did not boot up, but they were quite keen, and then they said that, okay, we are stoked to help you. So that was really positive. So that keeps us going as well. So thanks to the alpha testing specifically.
Oh, very good. Yeah, and let's extend that also to the rest of the team, to the mods that are also currently in the channel moderating everything 24/7. Yeah, so that's it's really good. Our designers, everyone. I think we're
and the partners
growing
too,
as a team.
who are giving us access to their repository so that we can help them get their games online. That's another thing we should be thanking them too.
No, very good.
Here we go. It was funny. You weren't there, but this morning Ron just pinged me. Hey, can we talk real quick? So I jump on, and I thought I was just talking to Rohan. All of a sudden, it's the entire tech team, and for a guy who's not a programmer, that's intimidating. They treated me nice. They didn't talk over my head too much, so it was good.
Right.
All right.
Okay.
When we end the stream there, and we'll see how the game fares. Yeah, we're live. Cool. Testnet is live, everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ron. Thanks, Jordan. Thanks, Andy, wherever you are.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.
See you.